The 26th day of my Irish coast cycle saw me waking in the far north of Donegal at Kinnagoe Bay, where I had wild camped overnight, uh, and setting out for what was going to be a 120-kilometre long journey um, to Cushendall. That was much longer than I had originally planned because I'd caught the forecast the previous evening, and this beautiful morning was going to turn into torrential rain as the day headed on, and yet more the following day. So I really wanted to make some distance. That meant getting up over the steep hill to the ferry port at Greencastle, and then getting the ferry across to Magilligan. The Magilligan side is fairly desolate. There's not that much except a long road running past the army barracks and past the prison. This prison is a pretty terrible location for relatives because it really is in the middle of nowhere. So any visits must have involved quite a considerable transportation effort. There's then a long section where you're cycling between cliffs and the railway line with beaches on the other side until you reach Castlerock, which is also just a little bit out of Castlerock is the location of the famous Mussenden Temple. That's very popular as an Instagram location, so I had to stop there and get a few snaps in. There's a rather odd backstory to this building, built in the 1780s by an Earl Bishop, yes, somebody who was both, who apparently fancied his niece, and that may have been part of the reason for her premature death, but I'll leave you to look up the details of all that. I was moving on along down the coast towards the giant causeway and Bushmills. Now, just before you get into Bushmills, there's a railway trail that kind of opens at the back of a car park, so it's easy enough to sail by it, but that takes you down quite a bit of the coast and away from the busy roads, and emerges just at the Giant's Causeway. Unfortunately, with the 120 kilometres I was trying to do today, the Giant's Causeway wasn't a stop I could make. I'm going to have to go back to do that. This is the island of Rathlin, viewed from the mainland. I've been there a few times at music festivals, and then it was on to Cushendall. I'd booked a B&B for Cushandall overnight because I wanted to get a very early start and try and beat the incoming storm to Belfast, but it was a beautiful evening, so that gave me time for a last swim of this trip and a little feast by the seaside, Chinese and Mattis wine for nostalgia's sake, before going to bed and then holding off for the morning. So that's day 26 of the Irish Coast Cycle. Tomorrow the storm arrives. Will I beat it to Belfast? I hope you're enjoying these videos. Please do give this one a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, do follow the channel.